Prophecy consists of three parts. First part is the revelation. What is God saying? The person who delivers the word is responsible for the revelation of the word. It may come as a dream, as a vision, or any other way God chooses to speak to us, and we've discussed a few ways that God could speak to us. So it's the revelation. That's something that God reveals to you, or about somebody else. That second part, which is where we find the most trouble in, is the interpretation. What does the revelation actually mean? Sometimes revelation comes in symbols. And if you come to this person and say, I saw a eagle flying over you with a snake holding in his claw and a rainbow sticking out of his head, here, this is a prophecy for you. What is he supposed to do with that prophecy? You got to deliver interpretation of the prophecy. Because interpretation, write this down, belongs to the Lord. Interpretation belongs to the Lord. And oftentimes, since you are the recipient of the revelation, you will be the best to interpret it or know the interpretation of it. Prophetic people need to realize that just because they receive the revelation does not mean that they have interpretation. We often get in trouble when we try to interpret a prophetic revelation without receiving God's direction and clarity. So just because you think even that you might know, just because you might think like you might know what it means, still ask the Lord, still consult the Lord to make sure that you understood it correctly. And the part 3 to the prophetic, to the prophecy is the application. What should we do with the prophetic word once we know what it means? We should always involve wise leaders or people in our lives when we receive directional prophetic word. So now, for example, if God gave you some particular directional word for the church or for something that's more for public, you don't go up front, take a microphone and say, "Church, God revealed to me that we should do this and this and this." Well, wait a second. God did not appoint you over the church. You don't have authority over the church. Pastor does. You should submit that word to leaders and pastors. It should be discussed, and if they choose so to release it or allow you to release it, then it should be released. Now, with the invention of internet and every person that has a dream, every person that has a dream, every person that has a vision, everybody's putting it up there. And oftentimes what happens is there's no accountability. The person can get 10 times wrong, 1 time right, and he's a prophet. And that's why prophecy was always meant to be within the context of the church. Within the context of the church, where there's accountability and there is structure. The application also could be, do we release that word? Or is it something that God has told us or revealed it to us because he loves to have a communion, fellowship with us, and he shares secrets like any best friend would share with them? Secrets. What makes best friend is the closeness and the secrets you share. Am I right or wrong? Right? So as you're getting and drawing closer to God, he's going to reveal to you secrets and mysteries. But not every secret and mystery he reveals to you belongs to the public. Oftentimes, and many times, it's just for you and God because of the relationship. The other part is so that you pray, so that you build a wall, get out your own watchtower, like Habakkuk says, and you stand in the gap. Prophetic people, true prophetic people, are intercessors. True prophets are intercessors. They pray, 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 pray and pray. They let God's will be known to man. At the same time, they stand before God to let the will of man be known to God. It's both ways. And oftentimes what I see, being in the prophetic ministry for many years now, is that people quickly rush, they get addicted, because it's very actually addicting and very exciting to receive prophetic words and release over people. But if you dig into their private prayer life, it's an inch deep. It's an inch deep. And it needs to be the other way around. It needs to be 90% in prayer and 10% of releasing the word. 90% in prayer and worship and 10% of releasing the word. You gotta be an ocean deep as an intercessor, because then you'll carry true heart of God and you release proper words in its time.